A deportation machine that will be unleashed on steroids by this one big ugly bill.
Yeah, we got to talk about the big, beautiful bill that will be signed today on July 4th. And to that, I say, Happy Independence Day. It's a beautiful time to be alive, ain't it? It's a wonderful time to be alive. But let's talk about the big, beautiful bill, because we've got a lot of reactions from the Democrat Party, as well as some Republican Party reactions, and we'll get into that. And then we'll also just get into some of the facts about the bill and what is actually in it. Full disclosure, is the bill absolutely perfect? No, of course not. Nothing in life is, right? But I do think it will help advance America to a better position. All right, now let's get into some of these Democrat reactions. Here is Democrat Representative Britney Peterson as she almost cries after this bill passes. Check it out.
Buddy, I lost my voice. We were forced back here. Took a red-eye flight. Haven't slept. We're here being forced back to vote on this disastrous budget proposal that is going to decimate our rural hospitals, healthcare that families, millions of families across the United States rely on, and increase costs for all of us for the private insurance market when we have this much uncompensated care. It's hard to hold back the tears with how bad this bill really is, the impact that it will make in Colorado, and especially in rural Colorado. So I will keep you updated, but right now we have 2 people who are likely going to vote no. We just need 2 more. Your voices matter, and reaching out and telling your stories makes a difference. So thank you for tuning in, for fighting back, and I will keep you updated.
Crying because a bill is about to get passed. Here's AOC's reaction to the whole situation, too. Of course, you know, she's dramatic.
I think this is one of the saddest days in modern American history. This is the largest withdrawal and ending of healthcare in American history. 17 million people in our country, 17 million Americans in our country are going to lose their Medicaid. They're going to lose their ACA insurance. Small business owners are going to have their healthcare costs skyrocket, and people are going to have their SNAP and WIC cut back. People are going to go hungry. People are going to get sick. On a scale unlike anything we've ever seen. And all of it is just to finance tax cuts for billionaires and the wealthiest corporations who don't even need it. I don't think we have ever seen or are prepared for how catastrophic this is set to be for a lot of people. And I think it's devastating. And they're talking about this as though it's some tax cut. Even the stuff that they're talking about, taxes on tips, no tax on tips, that's only for people, that's only up to $25,000. And if you're making less than that, you're already kind of exempt from a lot of these things in the first place. So they're giving people crumbs and they're taking away the whole loaf.
Giving people crumbs and taking away the whole loaf, because I don't think any corporation should ever get any tax breaks. Those corporations that hire thousands upon thousands of people. Yeah, okay. Make that make sense. All right, let's just tax the corporations out the wazoo until they just decide to just leave the country because they're getting taxed out the behind. And they just go produce the goods in some other country for a cheaper price at a lower cost and just ship them back here. How about that then? Come on now. Like, it's just so ignorant. Here's Hakeem Jeffries.
Manu wasn't the only one. The only American citizen who's been targeted by the deportation machine, a deportation machine that will be unleashed on steroids by this one big ugly bill.
Bro, I hate the way he talks. I really do hate it. It just irks me. The pregnant pauses every time he says something, like, it's just so slow and annoying. And, like, I don't understand why he does it. You know what I mean? It's so silly, man. But even with all the charades and the shenanigans, we got it passed.
On this vote, the yeas are 218, the nays are 214. The motion is adopted. Without objection, the motion.
So we got the bill passed, all right? We got it passed. And, you know, I found this clip of Jim Jordan with Casey, is it Casey? I believe it's Casey Hunt on CNN. And if you had any reservations about the bill, he actually says something that, like, gave me a cause to pause. And I was like, you know what? Maybe he's right about this. You know, maybe he's right. So, check out this clip of Jim Jordan and Casey Hunt.
And I do want to ask you, in that context, it is Freedom Caucus members who are very concerned about this bill. I'm old enough to remember when, if there was a bill on the floor that added this much to our debt and deficit, I cannot imagine you would have been happy about it in those years. And yet, you have been approaching this a little bit differently. What is your message to your colleagues in that group right now?
Look, we all wish it'd save more money, but you know this is a good bill, and I tell people all the time, you know it's a good piece of legislation because every single Democrat hates it. And the reason they hate it is because this bill actually empowers Americans. It empowers families. It cuts their taxes. It keeps their taxes low. It says to the hardworking people who are working and getting tips, we're not going to tax those tips. It says to parents, we're going to give you school choice in our tax code. It says the border that's now secure under President Trump, we're going to allocate resources to keep it secure. And maybe most importantly, or as importantly, is it says to hardworking American families who are paying for all this government, for people who are getting a benefit in the welfare system, if they're able-bodied adults, guess what? Now, from now on, they're going to have to work. So I think it's good for all those common sense, fundamental Republican principles. That's why the Democrats don't like it. While it doesn't cut enough spending, I get it, but we got small majorities, and this is probably as good as it's going to get. So I am certainly for this piece of legislation.
I'm absolutely for it. And on the back end, hopefully the growth will make up for the extra spending. Now, let's get into some of what this bill does here. And I want you guys to take a look at this because this bill funds ICE and it funds it to the tune of $37.5 billion, which is more than the defense budgets of Italy, Israel, the Netherlands, Brazil, and Switzerland, and nearly to the defense budget of Canada. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what I voted for. And I know some people are going to say, man, $37 billion is a lot of money. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but we also have a lot of illegals in this country. Okay? And I want them deported. I want them out. I want them out as quickly as humanly possible. Let's also get into some more things that this bill actually does. Here it is. Here, it delivers the largest tax cut in history for the middle and working class Americans. Bigger paychecks of $10,000 or more in annual take-home pay for families. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, no tax on Made in America auto loans. Protects 2 million family farms from punitive double taxation. Permanent increases to the child tax credit, supporting over 40 million families. A vote against this bill is a vote for the largest tax increase in history. Rescinds billions in the Green New Scam funding, restores fiscal sanity, slashing deficits by roughly $2 trillion, deports at least 1 million illegal aliens a year, makes the largest investment in border security in a generation, providing nearly $150 billion to secure our border and deport illegal aliens. Finishes phase 2 of the border wall, so we'll have our border wall, obviously, with $150 billion. We'll have a lot of funding for that as well. Shifts the cost of adjudication on the immigration system from the American taxpayer to aliens. Oh, I like that. I like that. Yes, sir. Hires 10,000 new ICE agents, 5,000 customs officers, and 3,000 border patrol agents. Funds the Golden Dome missile defense system to confront 21st century threats. I like the sound of the Golden Dome. I like to be protected. Okay. I like to sleep comfortably at night. All right. And that's what the Golden Dome seeks to provide. Delivers the largest Coast Guard upgrade since World War II, stopping fentanyl and criminal cartels by sea. Ends the Biden war on American energy and drives down energy costs. Unleashes domestic oil, gas, and nuclear power, restoring energy independence. Now, once again, is this bill perfect? No, there was a few things in this bill that, I wasn't too excited about. The Senate parliamentarian, and I actually made a YouTube short on her. So if you don't watch my YouTube shorts, definitely go and check out my YouTube shorts. I typically drop 3 of them every single day. They're super informative. Everyone typically loves them. And they're typically things that I don't put in these videos, so it's completely different. Sometimes there's some overlap here or there, but for the most part, it's stuff that I don't typically put in these videos. So make sure you're definitely checking out my YouTube shorts because you're missing out on a lot of good clips. All right. And they're short. They're 3 minutes or less. So if you need something quick, all right, they're there for you. But anyway, you guys let me know in the comments your thoughts and your opinions on all of this. All right. How are you feeling? Do you feel good about it? Do you feel bad about it? Are you kind of indifferent? Are you just like, yeah, we just going to trust the process? Let me know. I'm feeling great about it. I can't talk. Goodness gracious. I'm feeling pretty darn good about it. And of course, it's the 4th of July, Independence Day. Time to go celebrate. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.